Okay. Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for doing this piece of work with me. I'm excited.
You know what, Nancy, I'm really excited too. And it's always interesting when we start doing this type of work we've talked a little bit about the issue, but to really try and find out what's at the bottom of all of that, I think that's the brilliance of tapping. And I think probably it's the most challenging thing to do. So my hope that with this and helping you get to the bottom of it, that we're able to demonstrate a technique of how to get more specific.
Yes. Thank you.
So tell me what happened. Apparently you lost something.
Yes, I did. I went to the movies, and don't tell the movie people this, but I often take in my own coffee because they don't have very good coffee there. So I take my coffee in my Nespresso travel mug, and it's gorgeous. It represents a lot to me. It's silver, it's beautifully designed, you know, it comes along with George Clooney. It's so, and I left it there.
Wow.
I went to see Paddington 2, had a very emotional experience, and I think in the throes of that, I left my Nespresso travel mug in the recliner chair.
Okay, so you left your Nespresso travel mug, which you absolutely love because of everything it represents to you. And so give me an idea of when did you discover you had left it? Like when you got home or?
Yeah, when I was doing the dishes last night. And it was like, oh, I should be washing my Nespresso travel mug.
Okay.
Where is it? It's not here.
So you left your travel mug, you realized that. Did you go out and look in the car?
Yeah, well, I knew it wasn't in the car because I had a picture of the car, but I thought it was in the little bag that I sneak it in.
So what was happening to you while this was going on? I can't find my mug. I'm checking these places. What was going on inside of you while that was happening?
Yeah, well, I did go to some extent to that place, that shame-based place of, how could I have done that? Like how careless of you.
Right.
Right.
So let's hold that just for a second, okay? Because I think this is a great place to start before we get too far into that, because I love that you've attached shame to that. How interesting about the Nespresso mug. So if we're just sitting and you've left it, you're starting to feel shame. Do you know where in your body you're feeling that?
As we're talking and I'm allowing that to be there, I feel it, if you can see, just in my upper chest into my throat, and I can feel a little bit of tears forming behind my eyes.
Okay. Wow. All right. And so
and I'd give that probably about a 4 suds of.
Okay. Yeah. So 0 to 10. And it's interesting doing that rating. I mean, the reason we want to do 0 to 10, where are you at? Because how are we going to test if we actually got to it, right? So we know we're starting at a 4.
Yeah.
You're feeling.
And maybe we could establish sort of an overall test for this too, because one of the things that I know, you and I both know that if this is not a big deal in my life, logically, practically speaking, I could just get another mug, okay?
Of course.
But what I suspect is that this is connected to something subconsciously for me, which I don't know what that is because it's subconscious, but I can use this as a way to get to something which is limiting for me. So what I realize is that I have a hesitancy. Well, see, I can feel the tears a bit when I say this. I have a hesitancy to go back to the theater and ask them if they have Lost and Found and do they have my Nespresso mug.
Right where I was going.
Okay, great. I would absolutely, at this point in time, I am just wanting to write the mug off.
Yeah, right. And we know. And this is what I love about this, Nancy, is this is so much bigger than an espresso mug. But this is the opportunity, what I would say, the door in to actually getting and healing something so much more.
Yeah, it's like more emotional freedom.
More emotional freedom. Yeah. So, I think the fact that as soon as you recognize there was a little bit of shame attached to it, that's our clue. Something else is going on here.
Absolutely.
Right? That's how we become conscious. Okay. And so let's do some tapping.
Okay, and maybe even before we start tapping, let's put a rating on that test, So what about if we use, Nancy, think of going to the movie.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And asking for them to check for your Nespresso mug. How
So
positive is that, right? On a scale of 0 to 10?
perfect. So I think that's even better. So we know you're about a 4 in the shame and how you're feeling. So when we think about the real test, which is you're not even calling, you're going to the movie theater, you're going right to the management and you're asking if they found your Nespresso mug, where are you at that point?
I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it.
I can see the logical, practical reason why one ought to do that, but I'm not doing it.
So the resistance.
Yeah, I'd be only maybe a 3 out of 10. If 10 is, yeah, I'm doing it for sure, I'm a 3.
Okay.
Not doing it. I would much prefer to buy another mug.
Not doing it. Yeah, there's no way you're going to do it. And so any thoughts about that?
Starting to make some connections.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's start doing some tapping. And what my invitation to you as we tap through this, if something comes up for you, I want you to mention it.
Okay.
Okay. Don't wait for me to ask. So even though I have this lost Nespresso mug issue.
I have this lost Nespresso mug issue.
Yeah, that I'm not going to go and ask for.
Not asking for it. Just let it go.
Yeah. I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I have this issue around this lost Nespresso cup.
I have this lost Nespresso cup issue.
Yeah, that I'm feeling a little bit of shame around.
Feeling some shame around.
Yeah, I'm just going to accept and love myself.
I'm going to accept and love myself.
Yeah, I've got this lost Nespresso cup.
Lost espresso cup.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I know where it is.
It's at the show.
At the show.
I left it at the movies.
I left it at the movies.
I wasn't supposed to take it in.
I wasn't supposed to take it in.
I broke the rules.
I broke the rules.
Yeah. I left my Nespresso cup at the movies.
I left my Nespresso cup at the movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't even okay.
I know we're doing this at level 1 and level 2, so
yeah.
But I'm just saying this is already coming up. My mother's voice is saying, she's saying, well, what did you expect would happen?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've got some shame around leaving it because I was taught better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure it's taught better, but I am hearing my mother say that.
Yeah, I've got this critical voice, mom's critical voice going on inside.
Yeah, mom's critical voice going on inside.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been surprised at that.
Oh, it feels like she would have been thrilled to be able to jump at me.
Oh, so much shame around that criticism.
Yeah, so much shame. This shame.
Yeah, the shame around mom's voice, critical voice.
Yeah, shame around losing the mug.
Shame around losing the mug. Yeah, and not being able to go and find it.
Well, I don't deserve to find it.
Yeah. Well, I don't deserve to find it because you shouldn't have taken it anyway.
Right.
I shouldn't have even taken that mug.
Shouldn't have taken the mug.
Now I got caught. Yeah, and I feel a lot of shame around it.
And I feel a lot of shame around it.
Yeah. So what are the thoughts that you're having around this shame and when you think about mom's voice?
Yeah, well, the specific aspect would be I hear my mom saying what she says. I hear that phrase and I see her face saying it.
Okay, so what happens to you as you see her face saying it?
I have tears behind my eyes and I can feel the decision not to cry in that moment.
Okay. What would it mean for you to cry in that moment?
Uh, like not a smart move, Nancy,
Yeah.
because then you're even more vulnerable and you're gonna really get it.
Right. Yeah.
So
Oh,
just the decision feels like just
so,
take it.
yeah.
Take it.
Don't show any emotion.
Yeah, don't make a fuss here.
Yeah.
Just yeah. And it's the decision around the behavior is get the heck out of there, get away.
Yeah. It's
Get
not
away.
safe.
It's not safe.
Yeah. It's not safe to show emotion. It's not safe to be there, talk about it, do anything about it.
And it's not safe to go and ask for the Nespresso.
Oh, no, 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 that's not safe. So I just want to check in with you when we talk about the lost espresso mug, and now we're moving into something deeper, the safety, the security of, not being able to show emotions or go and ask for it. Where are you at on a scale of 0 to 10? 10 being it's really intense and not good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so isn't this interesting? Because you're going to have to ask me again, because it's like, I don't know what we're testing. I was so kind of into the emotional piece. So which piece are you asking?
We started out at a 4.
At for the overall when I think of this issue.
Yeah.
So if I think of the Nespresso cup lost issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking about the loss. Well, I'm just sort of kind of want to laugh because I'm just actually quite delighted to be more conscious of what this is all connected to for me.
Great.
Yeah.
So now I want to go down. That's great. I just wanted to test that, see where we're at with that, because we've really moved away from the mug. So now we're getting a little bit more specific around how unsafe it is for you to show your emotions, do anything, just like to be safe and not vulnerable, to not just leave it alone.
Yeah.
So where are you at? You had some tears behind your eyes. So we're on a scale of 0 to 10. How are you feeling with the emotional piece of this right now?
Well, yeah, I'm eager to kind of go there and take this and see what we're going to get to, or when we really look at the lack of safety and the decision that I made around that. Just before we go there, can we just go back and test that overall piece that we established around going to the manager and asking for my Nespresso mug and how likely it is? Let's just see if we
do that next, but we can do that first.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea of actually,
when the client tells you what to do.
I know. Well, this is what happens when you work with the teacher. All right, so thinking about, here you are, you're driving to the movie theater, you're walking in, you're asking for the manager and the lost and found to see if they found your Nespresso cup. So on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being I could do that easily. Yeah. Where are you at on that?
Yeah, interesting that I don't even remember what I rated it at before. So that's good. In this moment, I would say, how likely is it that I'm going to do that?
Yeah.
So I'm walking in, I'm going up there, and I'm feeling like there's a pretty good chance I'm going to do that. It feels like kind of there's more excitement and curiosity around it now. It's not a 10 yet. But it's definitely over 5.
Okay, so we'll say 5 plus.
Yeah, I feel like pretty emotionally detached from the outcome, from whatever they say. Like, hey lady, we don't do lost and found, or hey lady, you shouldn't have brought the mug in the first place, or little more difficult for me. I'm imagining the person who happens to be a teenager laughing at me and shaming me. So there's a little hesitation there. Okay. So yeah, I would say probably a 6.
A 6. Awesome. Let's tap.
Okay.
Even though
I'm realizing
my shame connected to the Nespresso cup.
My shame connected to my Nespresso cup
is really about my mom saying to me that how silly I was to do that.
Yes, it's really about an early lesson from
Yeah.
mom,
An early lesson from mom where I didn't feel safe.
where I didn't feel safe around her. Yeah, I didn't feel
Yeah.
supported.
Didn't feel supported. It certainly wasn't safe to show any emotions.
Wasn't safe to show any emotions.
Yeah. And I didn't want to be vulnerable
I didn't want to be vulnerable.
because
As
I would have felt
talking, I haven't got it yet, but I'm getting some. I know there are some specific events where I lost something of value to me, where I got shamed.
awesome. Yay! So, yeah, this isn't the first time it happened.
No, it's not the first time.
This is a series of times where I learned this.
Yeah, where I learned to pretend that that I didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I learned to pretend I didn't care.
It wasn't important.
It's
Yeah.
not important.
Yeah. And can you think of an incident? Does something come to mind?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll just call it, we'll flag it. It's the buttercup incident.
The buttercup incident. Okay.
She was my doll.
Hmm?
She was my doll, my baby doll.
So your baby doll that you called Buttercup?
Yes.
Yeah. So this reminds me of the Buttercup incident. Yeah, where it wasn't safe to show emotion.
And I didn't get support.
I didn't get supported. And I felt very vulnerable and made a decision that it was easier to just not care.
Yeah, to pretend not to care.
To pretend not to care. It was easier to pretend not to care.
Yeah, that seems very clear to me. I cared. I know I cared, but
don't
show anybody else that you care.
Yeah, don't show anyone that you care. It was just safer to not be vulnerable.
Well, safer to find a different strategy.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
like buying another Nespresso mug is another strategy.
Yeah. What was the strategy you learned about Buttercup?
Yeah. What, isn't there a line about this? Don't let them know you care. Or there's a cliche, isn't there? Don't show them something or other.
Don't show them that you care.
Yeah.
They get all the power. If they know you care, then they have all the power, and we're not safe and secure.
Right.
Yeah. So you made a decision and you learned some new strategies of not caring, of pretending to not care, and to be able to look after yourself in those situations.
Yeah. Good for me. Like I just realized that, you care. Oh, wow. You care alone.
I care alone. Yeah. And
well,
good for you.
Like that feels like a global, this is what one does. One cares alone.
Yeah. Good for you for figuring that out and being safe when you were young.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That takes a lot of ingenuity to be able to do that. But caring, what happened to you as you learned to care alone and stuff all the feelings of really caring?
Yeah. Lots of things, which of course there's lots of tapping coming up. So let's go back. This is great. I'm just curious to see, let's go back up to that very top test, the one around adopting a strategy of actually talking to the world, i.e. the manager at the theater, and letting him or her know that I actually care, and this mug is important to me, and doing that by asking to see if they found it.
Yes.
Okay, let's test that.
Well, let's test that. So how likely are you to now go to the theater, walk in, let them know that you left your mug there and you would really love to get it back because it's really important to you?
You know what I want to say? I want to say, I have to do this for Buttercup.
Well, yeah.
And
all the other things that you pretended not to care about.
Yeah, this feels like like an of course. Isn't this what people do? You lose something and you just check and see if it was found? Like there's no shame attached to it now. It's just, this is what people do. Maybe they have it. Maybe they don't. Whatever. Right?
Yeah. It's okay if they don't, but you're going to go and see if they do.
Yeah, exactly. And
So,
it feels very important. It feels very important that I take this action.
so are you a 10? Is this what you're saying?
I'm a 10. I got to go now because I got to go call the theater and their show's playing so I can go back and ask for my mug.
Okay, so Nancy, I'm just going to check in a little bit on, globally where you're at. I mean, you were a 4. I just want to check in a little bit because I think we're at a good spot here. Of course, there's more to do. There's other aspects, but on the not feeling safe, just some of the emotional components. How are you doing there?
Yeah, I know there's more work to do there, and I'm really quite excited about that because, there's just some work to do. Yay. On the other side of the work is more emotional freedom and joy and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's great. But on this particular incident, the Nespresso cup, there's no shame there whatsoever. Mom's voice is, she's actually changed back into her sort of more enlightened self, and she's now a cheerleader going like, that's not something I could have done, Nancy, but I am thrilled to bits that you can. That's what she's saying.
Yes. So that's fantastic. And I mean, really, the overall real benefit here is not having to pretend, to show up so powerfully and fully in all your feelings and feel safe that way. I mean, that's the ultimate outcome we're looking for, right?
Exactly.
So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to work with you on this issue. And, of course, I want to encourage you to continue on and look at probably a little work around Buttercup maybe, but you'll know there's different aspects. So I look forward to going to the theater. Please let me know how that turns out.
Okay, I will. So
next time I see you, you may have an espresso cup.
I'm sure I will, one way or shape or the other. I still have my glass Nespresso, can we see?
Awesome.
But I want my travel mug.
Great. Thank you. Bye.